everybody. Welcome to Coming Up Roses. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kelly, and today is Sunday, July 9th, 2023, and this is episode 98.
All right.
I got that right.
There we go.
Try to hold that all in my memory, and it's summer, and I don't hold anything in my memory in the summer.
BTS, we are filming this on Thursday, but we're releasing it on Sunday. So
we got big plans.
We got big plans. We're working stuff out to make our 100th episode something special for you folks. Not going to say anything yet as to what we're doing, but we think you'll like it.
Because it might be a big bust, and we won't know until we know.
We won't know until we know.
So.
Well, it'll be fun. The 15 people that stuck with us through all this, we really appreciate you. We're going to give you something special. So.
We're going to try.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this week, 4th of July.
4th of July. We had a very Tilly-centric week. Actually, Tilly and Dad-centric week. Because your dad turned 80.
Dad turned 80 on the 6th. Nope, on the 5th, which was Wednesday, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
80.
I made him a pineapple upside-down cake. It was nice.
Good, too.
Yeah.
He got a couple T-shirts. And, I mean, when do you get someone who's 80? He literally has everything he could possibly need and then some. So since he's so skinny now, all of his clothes, when you spend your life as a heavy person and then suddenly you're skinny, it's hard to realize that you don't have to buy big clothes.
Yeah, it's difficult.
And so he had on a T-shirt that I had made for him when he first got diagnosed, and he was like, "Oh, the neck on this shirt, it's just so huge." And I was like, "Well, you were 200 pounds more than you are right now when I made you that shirt." So we got him some T-shirts that were sized for him.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's pretty happy about it.
Yeah. He seemed happy. He got a new Lego kit.
Yeah, Bobby and John gave him a Lego kit. That was nice for our Lamborghini.
Yeah, he's been working on that.
Yeah, he's pretty happy about that.
Yeah, so that went nice. He got his ziti and sausage, which is his choice for dinner, and then Jennifer and Paul and the boys are coming in a couple weeks to spend a week, and we're gonna celebrate again.
Yeah, we're gonna have a nice cookout with them, and
that'll be good.
It'll be good. We'll have a good time. So.
Yeah, and then the 4th of July with all the fireworks. Poor Tilly. Tilly doesn't tremble, and she's not really scared. She just likes to hide. And so she put herself to bed.
Yeah.
The neighbors behind us started shooting stuff off, and she jumped down off the couch. And about 10 minutes later, I was like, "Where'd Tilly go?" And I went back to the bedroom, and she was all cuddled up on the bed.
I was working, so I guess she thought she was with me.
I did. I was like, I didn't remember her going back in with Kevin, so she must have gone to bed, and she did.
Because she'll do that. She'll come in and lay next to me with her little bed. But,
Yeah. She's laying down right here at my feet. And then I was in here working on some school stuff, and it started thunderstorming, and she jumped down off the chair in here, that little chair. I don't know. I'm backwards in the camera. I can never figure it out. She likes to sit on that chair while I'm working in here. That's why we have that chair there. So she can get there or on the bed if she wants, but she doesn't really get on the bed.
Yeah.
And then she just got down and laid right at my feet, so I went and got her bed and put it down there. So she's happy, tucked under the desk. So.
And then she got a bath, which she was really good about. Usually she's not good about getting a bath.
She's pretty good about grooming herself, though. She's not a stinky dog.
No. She doesn't fart at all.
She doesn't.
She's only shit in the house once, and that was the shit on your
dad.
If
she's wet, she'll stink for a little bit until she's dry, but she doesn't really get to be stinky.
No.
But we gave her a bath. She actually did really good. She didn't she only tried to jump out once when you walked away. But then we played with the towel for a while. She likes to do that. So, but yeah, she's been being a good girl until it's time to go to bed. And she has developed a new habit that when we go to bed, we always read or whatever, and she'll lay in between us under her own special blanket. And she's gotten to the point where if Kevin even tries to make a move, like he's going to cross the midline of the bed, she is like up like this looking at him and like snarling enough.
Yeah.
He's like, sorry,
I'm
just
not
trying to like
she's
roll
protecting
over.
her. It's like protecting herself.
No, because she does it to me too.
Yeah,
if I accidentally bump her, Man, she gets pissed.
She gets grumpy at night. She's a morning dog. She's a morning dog.
She is my morning dog. Yeah.
Because she'll get up in the morning and she'll want to cuddle under the blanket with me until you get up, and then she jumps right down. It's like
every morning when I get up, it's like Kevin's birthing a dog, because he'll have the blanket over him, and I see her get up and jump out the bottom, and then she'll want to come and sit with me, and then she'll look at Kevin like, all right, move the blanket over here. I need to be in my tent. We tried to train her today. She's 6. There's no training this dog. I mean, she's smart as a whip. And she has us all hoodwinked.
She's got enemies, and as you all know, the vacuum is her enemy. But we got the smaller vacuum that's more or less for
It's like a sweeper for like
sweeping,
hardwood
yeah.
floors.
And when I brought it out this morning, she was good about it. She didn't bark at it. She looked at it. She was intently looking at it.
Used it in the kitchen.
Used
She
it in the
didn't bark,
kitchen.
nothing.
Yeah. I was like, all right, sweet.
So I was like, well, I have to vacuum the hallway. So I plugged it and she started going crazy. So we were trying to teach her not to bark at it.
I think it's because you were using it. If I was using it, she probably would have let it go.
She doesn't want me doing any housework. She's already told me that.
Yeah, I'm sure. We did a lot of housework this week. We
did a lot in the kitchen.
The kitchen. We decided to do a deep clean of the kitchen, including pulling the refrigerator all apart.
Yeah, we took the fridge completely apart.
Threw away a bunch of
Scrubbed it down.
and then scrubbed down, pulled all the shelving out and everything, and magic eraser. That thing's the shit. The magic eraser. They're not our sponsor or anything because we don't have sponsors. But if we, they don't have to pay me. I'll tell you, it's good shit.
We actually cleaned out, we took the toaster apart. We took the can opener apart. Cleaned everything
down.
down.
Pulled the little trays out of the toaster, and there was stuff in
Normal
there.
people probably do that.
Yeah.
Routinely, but we're not normal people.
I don't think so. Leave in the comments if you actually pull the damn little trays.
I'm going to ask you a question. Did you even know there were trays under there?
I did not. I did not. That could detach from a toaster. I use a toaster until it stops working and I toss it.
We cleaned that all up, did the microwave and all the counters, and
Yep.
cleaned up, washed down the doors of all the cabinets, and took the lighting apart and cleaned all of that. And
did a date check on all the cans and shit in the.
Kevin steamed cleaned the floor and mopped it. Like we deep cleaned the kitchen. So we don't work consistently until we're done. We work for a little while and then we're like, all right, let's go take a break, and then we go back and work a little more.
Yeah.
So it took us all day Thursday.
Yeah, well, we're vastly out of shape. I'm more than once. I'm vastly out of shape.
My role was to sit on the stool in the kitchen and just point to what I wanted, and Kevin brought it to me and I cleaned it, and that's how that works out.
But it's done.
Yeah.
Kitchen looks real good.
It does look good. Feels better in there.
Yeah. Floor was real good. So they won't be able to bring us anything off the floor for a little while anyway.
That's true. We've been I don't know if we've talked about this before, but we've been using this app service called eMeals.
Yeah, we haven't talked. Yeah, we might have mentioned.
We might have mentioned it. It's along the lines of like HelloFresh or all those meal service.
We tried one of those. I think it was HelloFresh. Wasn't it HelloFresh?
It might have been. It's expensive for a family of 5.
Everything's geared towards the family of 4, or they go with even numbers. You get an odd number of people in the house. It's like, fuck you. We got nothing for you.
But eMeals has a variety of different weekly menus. So they have like low carb, they have keto, they have budget conscious, they have kid friendly, they have 30-minute meals, they have low cal, diabetic, like whatever kind of meals you want.
But this is where it's brilliant. These people because they're HelloFresh and there's like a dozen other ones that had their business model is you go in, you pick out your meals for the week, they send you all the ingredients. And they give you the instructions. And it's all fun and games to cook the food. And we did it. It was fun, but it is a little expensive and it's a little bit of a pain in the ass.
The meals were a little bit too fancy for us. We're just kind of simple people.
These people, when she was telling me what it was, I was like, that's fucking brilliant. That's next level shit right there. Basically, they do the same sort of thing. You pick out your recipes, right? And instead of them sending you the food, they basically link to your Walmart shopping list or your Amazon shopping list or your whoever you shop with.
You click the menus you want, and then it creates a shopping list of all the ingredients you need.
And then it orders it for you. So you go to the Walmart, it says, here's your shit you're getting at the Walmart. Go ahead and order the rest of the shit that you need and fucking pick it up.
But what I liked about it too, though, is you can look over everything and go, well, I don't need that. Like if you need soy sauce and you already have soy sauce. Like you just click that off. So yeah, go buy some soy sauce. And so you can click off just stuff that you don't need. You can also go
because you didn't like zucchini, and no one in the house really.
Yeah,
we
just took zucchini off.
Just took the zucchini off the recipe.
But you can also go and look, like it'll bring up, here is you need, I don't know, 2 pounds of ground beef, whatever, and it'll show it to you. Like I picked Walmart because that's generally where we do our shopping, at Walmart or Harris Teeter. But you could do Instacart. We don't really do that. Walmart, just the one we go to.
Yeah.
And they'll like, okay, here's the ground beef, but here you can view alternatives. So if you want 90% lean or 92% lean or 80%, like whatever you want, you can choose
80-20.
how you want it. And then you send it into the cart. It populates into your cart. And if you already have stuff that you've shopped through the Walmart app in your cart, it just adds it all to the cart.
Yeah, you just add your toilet papers and you
so it's like
whatever else
so easy. I don't have to sit and go, okay, we're having this for dinner this night. What do I need? Like, da-da-da. It's just all right in the list. And the meals, I mean, there are some fancy meals like we probably wouldn't eat, but like just regular. And here's how simple and brilliant this is. One of the meals was General Tso's chicken, which we all like when we get Chinese food. Like, I like, that's good. It's like, buy a bag of frozen popcorn chicken and a bottle of sauce and steamable broccoli. Cook the chicken, steam the broccoli, throw it in a bowl, pour the sauce on it. There you go. And I'm like, God damn it. And it was good.
It was very good.
I was like, man, why didn't I think of that? Because
I would never have thought. General Tso's chicken, you just
I'd be like, oh, I don't want that.
And it's 3 times as expensive.
Right. So we've done that, and we did pepper jack burgers with like caramelized red onion, which was really good.
They were like, do your burgers like this, and you put like soy sauce,
Worcestershire and
sauce and chili powder and chili,
stuff like that.
You know, and it was really, really good burger.
Yeah, because salt and pepper, and Kevin used to put Montreal all over everything, but Montreal is an acquired taste.
It's heavy. That's a Harvey Black thing from way back in the day, but
yeah. And we did, what was the pork chops we did?
The Greek pork chops.
Greek with the Greek seasoning.
They said, get this bottle of Greek seasoning, which is really,
I mean, I didn't
powder,
even know it existed.
Yeah, it's like whatever. I've never heard of it either. And tzatziki sauce, which we've always said we love tzatziki sauce, but really you only get it at Greek restaurants. This should be a table thing everywhere. That shit is great.
And you just sprinkle the seasoning on the pork chops, cook them, and then tablespoon of tzatziki on top. And I was like, my God, it was so good.
It was really good. It's unbelievable.
And they even give you the like side dishes to go along with it, but you don't have to do the side dishes. But
every meal we've tried from there we liked. The only one that everybody didn't seem to like as much, there was a sloppy Joe pasta.
It wasn't bad, but it would have been better with like ground beef and sauce instead of the whole sloppy Joe thing. But
yeah.
It was a little sweet.
Yeah, that was the only issue. It was a touch sweet for a pasta.
So anyway, and it's like $2.99 a month. The service is like $3 a month, and you can save recipes. You can print recipes. You can share recipes. It saves it in, your app. So you go back. You just pull the recipes up when you're cooking. And for me, it's like so easy because I'm like, all right, here's the 4 things I know I'm cooking this week. And
here's the thing. The thing with all those other ones, they're all hoity-toity. Like, oh, this is the finest of ingredients raised off of the, sustainable farm.
If I have to put leeks in it or something, I'm not going to do that.
Yak's balls or whatever it is that they throw on there, but you go to the fucking Walmart.
That's because I go through the budget-friendly menu.
Yeah.
And I go through the 30-minute meals menu, and I go through the kid-approved menu.
Yeah.
Because generally that's how we eat here. We're not like super keto, like all fancy.
You're not getting any of that from HelloFresh.
I know. So we have smothered hamburger steaks, and we have some spaghetti chili bake or something like that we were going to try.
That's on our list. We got the stuff.
And then next week I'm going to try to make a pesto lasagna with spinach.
Spinach.
That's way out of my comfort zone. I am not a tomato sauce. I do not like anything with tomatoes. Anything. I can tolerate a slight bit of ketchup occasionally. And of course on a pizza, but I would even prefer the pizza not to have sauce on it, to be honest. I just don't like it. And so I like lasagna, but again, it just sets off reflux in me like crazy. And so I was like, oh, pesto. I know Kevin likes pesto.
That's got like a lot of acid in it.
Yeah, tomatoes are. They're not my friend.
Yeah.
So that app I've really, really been enjoying. We've been talking about what apps and subscriptions that we have, and like we can get rid of this.
I mean, you got the streamers and all out there, but we're talking about the stuff that you wouldn't think you'd enjoy, but it's like this was one of the top ones. We started talking about it. Every meal we've gotten out of it has been really good.
Even Mom and Dad like them.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, Michael's even eaten most of them.
It's all stuff. They do all the shopping for you. Pick it up at your convenience. You can up or down the like I said, you're cooking for 5, so you have to bump up the.
What was the shepherd's pie one we made? Was it a taco shepherd's pie?
Yeah, the taco shepherd's pie.
We made that, and this is what I love about this emails. They were like, just buy the Bob Evans prepared mashed potatoes, and I was like, I love you, because that's literally what we do.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we can make kick-ass mashed potatoes.
Good mashed potatoes, but it's time-consuming. You take Bob Evans,
honestly,
heat it up, throw some pepper jack cheese in it or whatever we put in there. It was so good.
Yeah, it was crazy how good it was. And the Bob Evans mashed potatoes are almost as good as the stuff that I can make for half the price, and I only got to throw in the microwave for a few minutes. Fuck yeah.
We even did it at Thanksgiving. We just doctored it up some.
Yeah.
But so that I've been cooking more. I hate to cook. Hate it.
But you've been kind of enjoying it for these things.
Yeah, because they're easy, and I'm not spending hours in the kitchen creating a big mess. Like it's one pot or.
It's really good stuff too. So
tonight
check it out. It's called Emails.
Tonight we just made some au jus and we threw some roast beef in it. We made French dips. One pot, easy peasy.
Because we had a bunch of Swiss for some reason. We had a ton of Swiss.
Swiss cheese. I think that came from the chicken cordon bleus that I made.
Oh, yeah.
Which were really good too.
Mm-hmm.
New twist on the chicken cordon bleu that I really liked.
Yeah, you don't wrap them or roll them up or anything. You just basically make the chicken, then you throw a slice of ham. Well, no, you threw some Grey Poupon on it. Then you threw the slice of ham, and then you threw the cheese and melted it on top with the oven.
Very good.
Easy as, and it was really good.
Easy. That's what I like.
It's crazy good.
Quick and fast, under 30 minutes, not a big mess. That is my kind of cooking right there.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to spend a shit ton of time in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll put the links in when you do the description.
Just go to emails.com. It's so
just
easy.
throw in the description. That way, when they're looking at it on YouTube, they
That's
just
more work for me. Why are you trying to give me more work?
It's 3 seconds.
Oh my god.
I know, I'm a pain in the ass.
Yes, you are.
But I'm looking out for those 15 people that are watching our show.
That can't spell meals.
Or just click
if
the
I
link,
put it in there,
click
that's
the
like
link
I'm
in the
they're
description.
sponsoring. They're not sponsoring me.
Well, maybe
I'm not getting
maybe
any
they'll
money
see our
from
show.
them.
Maybe they'll see our show and they'll be like,
Yeah, they're not going to see our
all right,
show.
we're going to give these people $10 to
Sure.
for
You have
our
to
shit.
reach the 12 people who might be watching.
Yeah. Well,
I'm trying to get my hair to grow out on the sides, and so I have to keep tucking it back behind my ears. It's making me nuts.
next one on our list of web services.
Another app that we purchased from.
Yeah.
Temu.
Now,
Who knew? Temu.
She knew all about it. I actually perked up because I heard something on the news about it. The government's about to shut this shit down. But she was telling me about it. I was like, order what you can because the government's about to shut that shit down.
Well, here's how. Like a friend of mine at work told me about it. You can get stuff cheap, and it's because it's direct from China. I mean, you're buying straight from China, basically. And it's not necessarily, it's not name brand stuff. Like, it's China knockoff. I know exactly what it is, so if you have a problem with, like, cheap shopping from China, sorry. But
instead of the slightly more expensive shopping from China, you buy it here.
Right? I was like, yeah, I saw a couple of shirts that were kind of cute. And, I'm not the type that can just go anywhere and buy clothes that fit me nice. I'm like, well, God, it's like $6. Like, I can't lose. If it doesn't fit me, it might eventually someday, right? And so I bought a few shirts, and I'm like, oh, like, they fit nice. I like them. They wash really well. Like, the quality's been good. Shirts, I can get away with, and buying at other places. So I was looking through, and I was like, God, I really want to see. I saw a dress advertising there. I was like, that is so pretty. We have a wedding to go to at the end of the summer. And so I'm like, I don't have dress clothes. I wear jeans to work every day. And I've gotten rid of all my dressy stuff. I just don't have it. I don't wear it. So, like, well, I'm just going to try this dress. It literally is like $12. And it's
so
like,
it doesn't fit, you're out $12.
It's a maxi dress, which means, it just goes to your ankles or whatever. I'm out $12 if this dress doesn't fit me. And then I bought a pair of like pajama pants and something else. Oh, a jumper, like a jumper thing. And I got it, put the dress on. It was so comfortable and it's so pretty. And I'm like, even if I only wear this dress one time, it's $12. Mm-hmm. And it's really pretty and very comfortable, and I can wear just sandals with it or something and be good to go. So I'm super psyched. So then I was like, oh, now I know I can buy clothes from there. I need to do it while the government still is allowed, because it's free shipping. Yeah. It takes a little bit of time to get it, but the first time I ordered from them, they're like, you should get it within 10 days, 80%, whatever, show up before 10 days. You should get it by this date. And I got it the next day. And then I got a message that said, we've just credited your account $5 because the delivery was 1 day late. And then this last one that I just did, they were like, if it shows up after July 3rd, we'll credit your account $5. So not only are you not paying for shipping, but if it's 1 day late, they give you $5.
The deal is that the current tariff, I guess, on Chinese goods is that if it's under $800, it's duty free. And that's where Temu was like, fuck yeah. And they started pumping out all this stuff and doing direct sales to basically compete with Amazon. And it's working because people are like, fuck yeah, $12 dresses.
Literally, they have anything you want on there.
Yeah, there's crazy stuff in there. There's crazy stuff in there.
You have to read the caption, because I did think I was getting a bulk set of sunglasses for my kids at school, and I got one pair of sunglasses.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention to the description, but that's on you.
There's a language barrier.
But and it's like I said, it's not name brand stuff. So they'll say, "Oh, look at this, beautiful whatever." But the clothes that I have bought have been very true to what the picture showed, and they fit nicely. So I was like, even the jumper. Now I won't wear it out in public unless I have a t-shirt on underneath it. I might if I have a t-shirt. But just to bum around the house, so comfortable.
Yeah.
Temu was going to get money from me on every payday until they shut that shit down.
There you go. There you go.
They have classroom stuff too, stuff for your class and all. I should look for the headphones in there.
Yeah.
Before I go spending money at Amazon.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Make a note of that.
I will.
Check for headphone, which I have to buy every damn year because the kids are so hard on.
Oh, shit ass kids.
I know, shit ass. I found a bulk 100 set of headphones for $88. I might just do it. That might make it through a couple years. Kids just don't care. They don't care. Swing this shit around. They need more training.
Smack one in the face, they will. No.
They need more training. I have to write that on my list too. Train them better. That's really my fault.
Not on my list, but the other one that we've been, you signed us up or signed me up for the once a month MeUndies. Now, fellas, I know there's a couple of them. At least my brothers are watching this. Get on the MeUndies. It is the most comfortable underwear you're gonna have. It's unbelievable how comfortable this
I will
is.
say, they fit you so much better than Hanes underwear or whatever we buy.
Those
end up getting stretched out and then.
These are briefs, which I'm not usually a big fan of briefs, but these ones fit great. They don't ride up. They don't, I don't sweat all up in them. You get the ball sweat.
You don't have to get briefs.
Well, either way, I'm liking the ones I'm getting.
Okay.
They're
you always
great.
wear briefs.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You used to wear boxers when I first
that's
met you,
true.
and then you switched for some reason. I don't know
I don't know
why.
why either. But they're better than tidy whities, that's for sure.
And
So-
I should know because I got to see them
Yeah.
on display while we were cleaning the kitchen. Oh my God, it was.
I was trying to get the trash out, and I was pulling out of the buckets.
And they were heavy because
They were heavy, and they weren't coming out of the buckets. And I said, well, you know what? They might leak. I'll leave them in the buckets, and I'll just carry them out. And I'm trying to struggle with them to the door. Of course, Michael's fixing to go to work, but you think he gives a single fuck? He's just like, open the door, step out of your way. And as he's stepping out of the way, my pants fall right to the ground.
I just look over. Kevin's got 2 big bags of trash still in the trash cans because they won't lift up out of the. And he's trying to get down the steps into the garage, and I just look over, and his pants are like, and I thought I was going to die. I mean, it was
luckily Michael
the
didn't see
funniest image ever.
He didn't get to see
He didn't
the
even think it
mailman,
was
but-
funny. I was like, oh my God. I was like in tears. And my mom was like, what are you, Kevin lose his pants? Because I was laughing so hard. I was like, yeah. Oh my God, it was so funny.
So I pulled my pants up before Michael got to see an eyeful of
Kevin's like,
MeUndies.
how'd those MeUndies look? I was like, they look pretty good.
They do look pretty good. Even on my flat ass, they look pretty
funny.
decent.
That was so funny. But yeah, MeUndies, they're expensive though.
They're a little pricey, but you know.
I figure once you get like a good amount, then we'll
Then we
just
just can't-
discontinue
yeah.
doing it, and they should last you for a long time.
Yeah.
So
But that's like the 2 best gifts you've gotten me in the last few years is the Marvel
t-shirt
shirt of the month and then
the
now the
underwear.
undies of the month. I'm like an of the month guy. I like it. Undies of the month has been really good to me. The Marvel t-shirt of the month, that's been really good.
The underwear he got. I can't believe we're sitting here on a podcast talking about your underwear, but had Groot.
I've talked about shitting on myself. We're a step back from that with the underwear. So,
It's true.
but they got Groot, so I'll have Groot on my root.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I was not expecting you to say that. Wow.
I'm Groot.
What else is in your list?
Smart
More apps
News.
that we like to use.
You
Smart
really like
News.
Smart News.
I like Smart News, most of it. Like some of the stuff, of course, when you set up Smart News, you can select like where you get the news from, like your favorite news sources or whatever. And I generally try to do a little bit of everything because I don't want all just one
You don't
side.
want to bias on one side or the other.
Right.
Because every single source of news is biased. I'm sorry, but every single one. People always say, well, Fox News is biased. Yeah.
I don't
Fox
even
News
think
is
people
biased.
know
So
how to
is
keep
CNN.
bias out anymore.
They can't. You can't. No one's ever been able to keep it out. There are a few journalists. I'll respect the journalist who was upfront about their bias. Like John Stossel has always been upfront about his bias. He'll sit there and say, I come at this from a libertarian perspective. This is what I've noticed. And then he'll talk to anybody and say,
Yeah, you
So
really
what do you
can't.
think?
Because everything you see through a lens of what you believe.
absolutely. And that's what happens with these reporters.
Yeah.
There's no objectivity because they're always going to see it through their lens. The simple act of choosing a story that you want to follow is going to be what you have some sort of passion about. So if you have some sort of beef with Trump, then you're going to look for all the dirt you can on Trump. If you have some beef with
Or
Biden,
if you hear a
you're gonna
positive
find-
story, you're not going to believe it to be true.
Yeah.
And I saw someone in the news, I can't remember where I heard this, but the guy, there's a name for that. He was like, you just have to accept that whatever story you are reporting on, like as a human being, if you're inclined to think more liberally, you're going to automatically
Yeah.
hear that, view that, read that through the lens of, siding with it or whatever the issue is or not. The same as if you're a conservative or whatever. It's almost impossible to take your bias out and
It
just
is
report straight
impossible.
news because you just can't. Because the news is given
It
to
is
you with the
impossible.
bias in it.
Now, there are some that are really good about it. Like CNN, they've got Jake
I just
Tapper,
want a
who's
news
probably
organization.
the least biased at CNN. He's still got his bias, and it's pretty obvious he's got a bias. But you go to Fox News, and there's Brett Baer. Brett Baer is biased, but you'd be hard-pressed for him to display it.
Brett Baer
openly.
is more hard news and less opinion, though.
Right.
And I think that's the difference, is a lot of these news channels have become opinion-based news.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're watching all the pundits, and of course they're spouting their opinion and what they believe. I want a news channel that has everybody.
Yeah.
Like, let them sit down and talk it out. That there are a few programs, you know, one program on Fox that even that show has gotten to be leaning too far to the one side. I'm like, I just want to hear opposing voices. And when you hear an opposing voice there, they tend to ridicule it, which I don't like. You know, although Greg Gutfeld, but he ridicules everything, and I just think he's funny. But, you know...
Well, the 5 is real good, but it depends on who they have on the left. Like when they have, what's his name? Not Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford.
His last name's Ford.
It's Ford, yeah.
Yeah, but
I know you're talking about. I like him.
He was a former congressman, and he's pretty much, he laughs at what they're saying, and he comes back with a point.
He has banter, and they don't get all pissy and serious and like.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's good stuff.
Yeah, that's what I just want.
But I mean, you're not going to pick. You can pick a news channel. They're going to be biased one way or the other. I'm sorry. There's just no news channel out there that's just not biased. It's just not. It can't possibly happen.
Well, Smart News will send you, like, you can open it up and read U.S. news. You can read world news. You can read local news. You can read whatever. But some of the stories, like, there's a lot of ad stories, like something will pop up and on this one I was getting forever, and it was like, oh, watch how Social Security is gonna double, and whatever, your Social Security checks are gonna double, your Social Security, and like you click on it and it's an ad for something, you know, and it's like, stop doing that. Just send me true actual news stories. I don't want advertisements for, you know, that I could do without, but it's a free app, so they have to advertise. I imagine that's how they make money. But, I mean, they get their news from Associated Press or Washington Post. Or, you know, you can choose who you want to see stories from. So, you can get it from everywhere. And I'm this terrible to say this, but I'm kind of a headline reader. Like, I'll glance at a headline and then move on. Because I can usually, I'm like, okay, that's going to be, you know, all one way. Or, you know.
But usually if you even just do that and you get it from a couple different sources, you can get sauces.
Good sauces. There's a lot of good sauces.
Sources. You can get an idea that, you know, okay, you can pick, okay, these 3 are saying this, these 2 are saying this, so it's probably somewhere in the middle, and it's this that's really happening. Because some people are going to be like, this cocaine in the White House thing. Pretty damn obvious where that was.
First of all, I cannot even believe that they don't know exactly who
they
left
knew
that.
within the hour
There's
whose cocaine
cameras
that was.
and logs and security. That is the most secure building probably in the world.
If they didn't know whose cocaine that was within the hour, somebody needs to lose their fucking job.
And the fact that they're not putting out who it belonged to makes me think that it was somebody they don't want you to know. Because if it was just a staffer or somebody like that, person would have been thrown under the bus. They'd have been out.
Yeah.
It would have been
this
reported
person's
on.
going to get rehab, and then they get a job at some congressional office somewhere.
Right.
You know, they place them in a cush job in a congressional office. But no, and I thought, well, why don't they just say it's Hunter's coke?
And it might not be his, though.
Well, let's say it's Hunter's coke, because, I mean, really, it's Hunter's coke. We all know it's Hunter's coke. Let's say it's Hunter's coke. They can just say, oh, well, Hunter had a relapse, and we're going to get him help. And then
he's got a plea
my
deal on
mother-in-law,
the table.
Yeah, that's my mother-in-law threw it out there. She said, well, he's got a plea deal on the table. I was like, oh, that's right. If he owns up to it, motherfucker's going to jail for the stuff he's supposed to be going to jail for.
I mean, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine being someone who works at the White House.
It's got to be the hardest job.
Bringing cocaine into the White House and then being stupid enough to leave it behind.
You can do that at a corporate office. You could do that in the private sector all day long. You could probably do it in somebody's congressional office. But at the White House, where it's the most secure building on the planet, no. You're not doing that at the fucking White House.
And you know the ramifications as soon as someone finds it. they are evacuating the entire White House.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine it would be a person who works there, unless they have really hired people with a lack of judgment.
Yeah.
I
Well.
can't believe it's a visitor, because those people are searched, I would hope.
If it's a visitor, you're like, oh man, I get to go to the White House today. I'm doing
Now,
this, that, or that.
Can
I
staffers
hope I
just
get to
bring
bring my
visitors
Coke
through?
in.
Like,
I
hey,
can
my
imagine
brother's in
if-
town. Can I bring him in for? And they
I
leave
imagine they
cocaine
have
in
to
the
sit there, and I can imagine the paperwork for that.
right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you got a brother coming in town, yeah, well, I'd like to bring him in. He's coming in a month. Let me start the paperwork now. FBI's, depending on where you're working in the White House, the FBI's or the Secret Service is going to run a check on him. And if they say, no, he's not coming in the building, he's not coming in the building.
And then now they're like, well, it was found in a room where it's under construction. So what are they, like a construction workers doing coke while they're rehabbing the Situation Room in the White House? I doubt it. I really
Construction
doubt
workers
it.
are drinkers, and they, maybe they do pot. They're not out there
Not
doing
if they're
goddamn
working
coke.
in the White House. I mean,
They're
it would
not-
have
yeah,
to be
I'm saying
someone
they're not
who's
coke
very
users.
comfortable in the White House. Comfortable enough that you're going to leave your drugs behind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is the only thing that makes sense to me. But there are a lot of people who are very comfortable in the White House. They, and I'm not saying it is anybody in particular,
Well,
but if we have to choose a person, we have to choose a person who has a history. I just
you all know who
want,
it
look,
is. You
don't
all know who it is.
don't even talk about it. Don't keep changing the story. Don't keep changing where it was found. It just makes you look like you're covering it up. Just don't answer the question. She needs to take a hard line.
Mhm.
I'm not answering these. I'm not answering. She tried. I'm gonna have to redirect you
Oh,
to Secret Service. I'm gonna have to direct you to
Sean
Secret
Perry or
Service.
whatever the hell her name is. Yeah.
Right? Come on.
He's so bad at her job.
She's got an impossible job.
I respect a lot of the press secretaries who are good about, even when they're lying. Like Andy Card was great at it. Obama's press secretary, Andy Card was great. He was fun when he was lying his ass off to you. He was fun about it. Fucking what's his name? Sarah
Tracy?
Huckabee Sanders. She was a ball buster. She would get up there and break their balls. They were there to break her balls. She wouldn't have none of it. They're fun to watch. They're fun to watch. Even Psaki, who, she was lying, but she had a grace about it. She would lay it out there. You know the hell she's lying her ass off. But Jean Champere, whatever the hell her name is, she's just so bad at it. She sucks so bad at it. Oh my God.
She's in an impossible situation.
Oh yeah. The only thing worse would be Trump's lawyer. There's two jobs that are so horrible to have: to be Joe Biden's press secretary, because you got to make this old doddering old man who does stupid stuff every single day not look stupid. That's a nearly impossible job. And then there's Donald Trump's lawyer. Donald, I just need you to shut the fuck up. I know you're going to get up here and start talking, and you're on the news. Do me a favor. Just shut the fuck up. Guess what Donald Trump's never going to do? He's not going to shut the fuck up. He's going to dig himself a bigger hole. That's what Donald does. He digs himself a bigger hole.
Every word he speaks, I'm just like, oh my God.
Just imagine, next time you watch one of these, imagine being his lawyer and how much you would want to hang
That's
yourself.
probably why they keep quitting. You're probably like, I'm out. I can't take it.
So like,
They're probably doing
I could
coke.
get you off on this, but you won't shut the fuck up. So I love these lawyers on TikTok. They were on a while back that they called themselves the Pot Brothers. They get people off on pot, and they said it's shut the fuck up Friday. If they stop you, you just shut the fuck up. You don't say anything.
Kevin says that every time we watch Cops, or if I watch a TikTok of
Oh
cops.
my
like,
God.
Why are you talking to the cops?
On the Murder
Stop
Channel.
talking to the cops.
On the Murder Channel. I watch the Murder Channel with my mother-in-law.
And I'm usually like, keep talking to the cops because they're guilty
yeah,
of
they're
shit.
guilty as shit. But you watch the ones that are reenactments, you can usually tell when the cops did something crazy because suddenly they get a tip and now they've got their line on somebody. Yeah, you did some illegal shit and you're just calling it a tip. All right, I'm down with that. But I watched the first 48, which is basically them filming cops solving murders live, and it's always drug shit. It always is. But they'll get somebody and they won't shut the fuck up. Why are you talking to them? You just murdered
the
somebody.
cops
Shut
have
the
a
fuck
way.
up.
They have a way of talking to the people that makes it seem like if you're just straight with me, we're going to take care of this and get you, it'll be all right. And for someone who's desperate,
I guess.
I mean, they're just like, oh, okay. I see it happen on cops all the time. They're like, all right, is that, drug paraphernalia in your car? You're just going to have to step out. It's going to be okay. We're going to just tell us what's going on. Like, we'll make sure we're going to take care of it.
We're going to take
and
care
the people
of you.
are like, oh, okay.
We'll take care of you. Well, yeah, that's my drugs. I just thought I'd get away with it. Well, guess what, shitty? You're not.
You're not.
You're going to jail tonight. Hope you don't get ass raped.
Oh, my God, Kevin. Why do you go to that?
My favorite, though, was there was one night we were watching Live PD, and they were watching it live, too. It's like Dan Abrams and whoever. This dude was on a curb. They had him handcuffed and two other guys right next to him, and the cops were doing their thing. And the dude hopped up and started running. And the camera crew's following him. Cops are running behind him. And they were like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's running handcuffed, full bore. And they're at this hotel. He dives through this window. Like, I don't know if he busted in the glass or whatever. And he starts yelling at the woman in there, I'm going to get you, bitch. You're never going to get rid of me. They're never going to keep me from you. And I was like, oh, my God. And Dan Abrams watching, like, oh, my God. It was the best shit ever. Oh, it was really the best shit ever.
Wow.
But he needs to shut the fuck up. There's no way he's not going to jail now.
I mean, obviously he was hopped up on something.
Yeah.
Like, he's not in his right frame of mind.
Oh my God.
All right, what else you got on your list?
I got, we're going to talk about Supreme Court rulings.
You're a little hyped up to talk about that.
I know. But, the Supreme Court did 3 major rulings this past week. One of them was the end of affirmative action, which, I'm all right with it, because I think in this day and age, I don't think preventing one race of people from being able to accommodate another race is right. I mean, racism is wrong. So if you're judging based on race, that's wrong.
And I thought colleges anyway were like ultra sensitive to that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I know that like college campuses are more liberal, and more inclusive and more, all of those things. Like, why wouldn't the admissions people be that way?
And they are. But I mean, the thing is, the case came up because this kid who was of Chinese descent had great scores, but he was left out because of affirmative action. They met their quota for Asian. And they said, all right, we're done with you. We're going to grab some other folks. Where he scored much higher scores and whatnot. Race played a factor, and it really shouldn't. Now, I don't know.
I mean, in a perfect world, your applications would have no name or identifying information in it. You're just looking at records and school history and things you're involved in and what kind of courses you've taken and
write a dissertation that they read or whatever.
Right. I mean, but when I used to score national board certification, they had the names and everything removed off of it. You didn't know their name. So you couldn't have that bias of like, I mean, that was one of the ways they tried to remove the bias. You're going to get this entire packet, but like the names and everything is redacted out of it. Because we don't want anybody making any kind of judgment based on skin color or where they live or who they're teaching or whatever. Now, there were things in narratives that are written that clearly, like, especially if a kid is writing a narrative about their experience, you're going to be able to know by what they talk about. But
and they can still talk about their experiences and whatnot.
Their experiences up until that point in life they're valid.
Yeah.
But it should be based on everything except race. And I thought that's what we wanted. Judge by the content of your character, not the color of your skin.
That's very simple.
So I, in a perfect world, think, well, that should be how it is anyway. It shouldn't be based on we have to have X percentage of this race and that race. I mean, there are so many people of mixed race now that identify as 2 or more, what are you doing with those people?
Yeah.
You know, like,
You're gonna give them a score, like what is it? I guess like your disadvantage score based off of that. So if you're mixed race, your score is less than somebody who's like you're mixed black and white. So you're this.
What do the colleges do? Are there colleges out there that are strictly male, female? Like a men's college, a women's college,
I don't think
a
that's
Catholic
a thing anymore.
college.
There
but
are
you can
Catholic, they're private schools.
But you can be any religion and go to them.
Yeah.
Yes. They can't discriminate you based on religion.
I don't think they generally do.
A Catholic school.
Right. I don't think they generally do. I think what they say is, yeah, you can come here if you're Jewish or whatever, but
you still are going to do religious study and
right.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Because that's our thing. And the male-female schools, I don't think are a thing anymore.
What about historically black colleges?
They still HBC, yeah. They still are very much in the.
Are they admitting people based on race?
No.
So anybody can apply to and get admission to.
When I first went to college, I went to Virginia State, which is a historically black college, and I got in. Okay. I could not get into Virginia Tech. They said, "No, fuck you, fat boy, you're not coming in here." But Virginia Tech welcomed me with open arms, but I fucked my leg all up. That's the whole thing. But yeah, it was I got in. My scores were good enough. Campus was great. You know.
I just don't know. I mean, if you're gonna trust your colleges to educate young people, then you should trust them with these guidelines. Like,
yeah.
Admit people based on the merit of what they do.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. In a perfect world, that sounds great to me. We don't live in a perfect world.
Yeah. The next one was the student loan thing, the debacle of student loan thing. So that's based off of, in the Constitution, who does what. And Joe Biden doing an executive order to finagle a law for 9/11 victims and to pay for student loans for kids 20 years after the fact that had nothing to do with 9/11 was never going to fly. They knew it was never going to fly. Nancy Pelosi said it wasn't going to fly. Joe Biden said it wasn't going to fly. And then he did it, and now everybody's all upset about it. But here's the thing. It was never going to fly. If you want something like that, it's got to go through Congress. There is a reason why there's a separation of powers. So you can bitch about it. You can say, well, the government should be paying all this off. And you can debate that all you want. But the president cannot just wipe out somebody's student loan on his own pinstripe. No, it doesn't work like that. It's got to go through Congress. This thing that paid her student loan off went through Congress.
Yeah, I feel weird talking about it because I actually took advantage of. But the program that I used was a public service. If you had to spend a certain amount of time in public service at a specific type of school.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
It's because you work for them. It's just like when Cox pays.
Paying.
Yeah, Cox pays for reimbursement. Other employers will pay you to go to classes.
And trust me, it wasn't without loopholes and hoops and years and years and years and years of we're going to tell you one thing now and then we're going to do something different and then we're going to change our mind and then we're going to say you qualify for this and then we're going to say you don't qualify for this. I mean, I went through applying for that. The first time I did it, you have to pay for 10 years and then at the end of the 10 years they forgive the balance of the loan. So I'm on the phone with the guy, like trying to get everything going, and he was like, you have to be on a certain repayment schedule. And I was like, okay, well, what would the monthly payments? And they were like almost $1,000 a month. And I was like, well, at $1,000, what you're telling me is, first of all, I can't afford to pay $1,000 a month on my student loan because I'm a freaking elementary school teacher. Secondly, what you're telling me is I pay this amount for 10 years, that's going to pay off the loan. At the end of the 10 years, there's nothing left to forgive. And he literally said to me, yes, that's how it works. So I was like, well, then forget that. I can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
And so then I think I tried it once before. It was like, oh, you know, for whatever reason, you're qualifying. You have to, you know, have this kind of, I mean, it was, oh, now you have to be on this kind of repayment plan. So convoluted. And then finally, I guess Obama put, like, he was like, all right, look, if you've made payments for 10 years on your loan, because we've screwed this program up so bad, we'll, you know, apply whatever. I had to consolidate everything to a direct loan. I had a government loan, but I need a different kind of government loan. And Mom was like, just try it, just try. I was like, I just don't want to go through this again. And then it was, get this paperwork signed by your employer, turn this in. Oh, well, then you need this one more form. And I'm like, for God's sake. But, you know, finally, I got the thing saying it'd been forgiven in full, and it took me days. Remember? I kept even checking the account. I'm like, it's still at zero. It's not a mistake. It's still at zero. It's not a mistake.
But it was still something that was approved by Congress, passed through Congress,
Yeah, it wasn't
passed
any
through
kind
the
of,
Senate,
yeah.
and was signed by the president. That's how it's done. You can't do it just by executive order. Trump had his wall, and he was trying to divert funds from it, and his Supreme Court struck it down because he was doing it through executive order, and it didn't go through Congress. So, you know, if you might want the government to pay off your student loans, which I'll debate you on that.
Have the discussion, send it through Congress.
Yeah, send it through Congress. Get it done through Congress, because there's mechanisms with how government works, and it's there specifically to prevent overreach and corruption.
Well, the problem initially is the government took over the student loan, because that happened, I think, when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, oh, the government's going to back all the loans. You can get as much money as you want.
And that's when tuition skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said you can't do bankruptcy on it. Thanks, Joe. That was Joe Biden that wrote that law back when he was still a senator.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's why tuition, one of the reasons probably why tuition went through the roof, because there was no cap on it. Like, the government was just giving you the loans.
And they were like,
and way more than you needed to pay for school, by the way.
Yeah.
Way more than you needed, because I can specifically remember paying tuition, books, everything, and then I had money left. I mean, it wasn't like, have your school contact us with how much you owe. They were like, here's the money, and you do what you want with it. You know, just poorly managed from the beginning.
Government be thy name.
So, yeah, I remember going through all that nightmare.
So, here's an idea. Let's get government out of the student loan business. Totally, 100%. Take the bankruptcy restriction off of student loan, so that if you need to file bankruptcy, it includes your student loan. And guess what colleges will have to do? They will sit there and lower their prices to get kids to be able to afford it.
Or make sure people are graduating with degrees that are actually going to get them jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, going to school, and this was even when I was in school, and just getting like a liberal arts degree. Everybody's like, back then it was like, you just have to have a degree. You know, your employer just wants to see that you have a degree. And it isn't like that anymore.
Mm.
I mean, now you have to have such a specialized...
They should do more trade schools for this sort of thing instead of you needing a degree.
Yeah, no.
I mean, one of Robin and Troy's son, he went into with the HVAC.
But the employer that he's got is paying for him.
But still, I mean, he's not gonna have any student loan debt, hardly any at all, or something that he's gonna pay off in less than a year. He's gonna have a job pulling more money than I'm making. And he's what, 20?
Yeah. Yeah, well.
I mean, he's a hard-working kid. He's a good kid.
There's a lot of people out there that don't want to do that kind of hard work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do it. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how I can go back to teaching from home.
Yeah. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. I got a fairly difficult job mentally. I mean, I take heat for the cable company, and you think that sounds shitty. Guess what? It is. It is, but...
My favorite story was the guy who was the priest, and he told you,
he
damned you to hell or something.
Yeah. I'm damning you to hell.
Jesus, because you can't
Look,
get
man,
your
because
cable
I can't
TV
get somebody there tomorrow? You got to wait the day after tomorrow?
It took
What-
God
what would
7
Jesus
days,
do?
even. Jesus.
I'll tell you what Jesus would do. He would fix your shit for you. But Jesus ain't here, buddy. What do you want me to do?
Oh my.
Anyway. And the last one was the free speech bill. A lot of people confuse it, said that it was a religious rights bill, but but it really wasn't. It was basically, it's an interesting case because if the case is that this lady who makes websites for people, and because of the stuff that happened with the baker that wouldn't bake the cake for the gay wedding, that went to court all the way through, and the guy ended up paying out through the nose. Right. Yeah, I'm for that. I mean, but I'm also of the mind that you shouldn't be forced to do something that you don't want to do. So if you are, for whatever reason, you sell a product, but you for whatever reason don't want to, it may be shitty. You may be the worst person in the world because you don't want to do business with this person for even racial reasons. That is your business.
Yeah, but you can't.
Now, I'm not going to do business with you, and you'll lose money in the market because people are going to be like, no, I'm not using your service if you're not going to serve him or her or do these people. That's what markets do. Markets will fix that. You don't need the government.
And you would think that in this age of social media, you put a company on blast very easily for that.
People go to places based off of Yelp. They'll read the reviews.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is one of those situations where a gay couple goes to a baker and wants a cake. Yep, this is what she did. Now I'm gonna get up here and dig for a minute. Okay, let's dig. Oh. Hi there, Tilly.
Hi, Tilly.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
This is
Tilly.
what she does at night, too. Tilly, lay down. Tilly, lay down. Thank you. Did you hear her? A gay couple goes and they want a wedding cake. To me, as a baker, for you to say, I'm not going to bake you a cake, is flat out ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Insanity. Because it's a why are you going to bring that hailstorm of hate down on you?
Right.
It's a cake. And I get, if you have religious, whatever, get over yourself. They're coming to you for the purchase of a product, right?
Right.
And so, in my head, I'm like, that's ridiculous. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. But if I was a baker, I would exclusively bake cakes for gay people all day long. I have no issue with
right.
that.
Absolutely.
But if some white
Nazi
supremacist group or Nazi group or the Communist Party came to me and wanted me to make a cake for some event, I would want the right to say, no, I'm not going to do that. And I get...
And that's the thing. I mean...
I don't want to have to be forced to make a cake for that.
You shouldn't be forced to do anything. The government should not have the ability to force you to do something like that you want to do.
The difference there is...
Your business is your business. Now, if obviously you're still subject to market forces. So if you do something like that, and next thing you know, you're not going to get people that support gay marriage. They're not going to go to your bakery, or they're not going to use your web services, or they're not going to use your blah, blah, blah. And then the same token occurs. You're not going to get the Nazis coming to your
but
shit.
Could you imagine?
But that's on you. That's
could you imagine
your decision.
going
It's fine.
to have a website built as a black person and have them say to you, I don't want to build your website because you're black. That should not be allowed. You shouldn't be allowed to say, just because you're Hispanic or just because you're a fat person. I am not the type of person. If I went to a baker and I'm like, I'd like you to make me a wedding cake, and they're like, sorry, we don't make wedding cakes for fat people, they would be the last people I would want making my cake.
Right.
So I would probably blast them out on social media a little bit to my, 12 people who follow me. And then I would move on to somebody else.
But that's the thing.
But I'm not the type that would stand up and
the market is much better at keeping that stuff in check than the government is. Right out of the gate, the market is better at doing that than the government is. But I think
the difference is, like, when you think about, a Nazi party coming, that's a hate group.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole point is to hate people based on whatever. A gay couple is not that. Like, they're
No,
not.
of course not.
They're people who are in love with each other. How can you say you're not worthy of me making a website for it? It makes no sense to me.
Right. Well, I mean, for the cake guy, it was just a religious thing, and for the lady too, it was a religious thing. That was their
Now,
against
what
their
kind of
religion.
religion is coming
But
into making
I
money?
just don't think. I don't think if you're running a business and you're putting out a product, that you should be forced to do something you don't want to do.
Yeah, I know that's what
I
you're
mean,
saying. But what I'm
that
telling
is a
you
base
is
principle that I have.
there needs to be a line, because you can't just discriminate based on whatever you happen to want to discriminate on.
But the line is that there's competition that will do that for them, and they will get the business, and they will get more business because they're open to it. So
That's
you
what
know,
I'm saying.
the
In
web
this age of
service
social
people,
media seems to be more effective than going to court.
in the long run, this lady is going to lose business because people are going to be like, "Well, you brought this to court."
I wouldn't go to her.
I wouldn't go to her either.
I wouldn't go to a baker that refused gay people.
We're in agreement. We are in.
But I would go to a
100%
gay.
agreement.
I would go to a baker that refused a Nazi group.
Absolutely.
Probably exclusive.
That's the market working. That's the market. You're making my point. The market is working in that case, way better than the government does. Because here's the thing: the government forces this person to make the cake,
They probably suck.
and it probably sucks. They didn't put the vanilla in the cake, or they didn't put the good care in it they would for another cake. So
That's
you're
why I
going
say,
to
why
go
would
there
you
because
want
you
them to do
wouldn't, but you're going to go buy a cake from there because well, they made the cake, so I'm going to go there and get my cake made. So the government takes that decision out of your hands. You don't know that this person's shit ass probably spit in the cake or whatever.
Oh God, that's a little extreme.
Well, I mean that's the thing. That's where the market is better. The market is always going to be better than government. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is.
No, you're a market guy.
I'm a market guy.
But
It's
there's a
just
lot of
fucking
issues
way
like
it
this Kevin and
is.
I don't always see quite eye to eye on.
I'll admit I'm probably a little more extreme on that than some folks, but you know.
I don't know that I would use the word extreme.
Yeah.
You aren't fringe.
Yeah.
You're not out there touting "Don't tread on me" on the back of your car and strapping the guns to your chest and that
No,
kind of thing.
no, I don't care. I don't even own any guns.
I know.
People freak out when I say that. You don't own any guns, but you believe in the Second Amendment. Yeah, I get the right to carry guns. I mean, I need to go out and buy one. There's some in the house. I mean, Mike's got them, but you know, I'm not that guy. You know, I'm just if there was if somebody came into the house and they weren't supposed to be here, I know enough to throw my shoulder into their chest and drive them through the wall. Jug them, knock them out of the house. Fucking, what are you doing?
She's eye sleeping.
She's just looking at us. She's looking at us through the chair.
After I said she doesn't ever sleep up on the bed. Look what she does. She gets right up on the damn bed.
Yeah. Thanks for showing
Thanks,
Mama.
Tilly, for making me look like a liar.
All right, let's do some New York Times.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Bullshitty.
Forgot about that.
Bullshitty.
All right. Speed round.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Whoops.
Let us know if you guys want either to continue on with this. Is there other suggestions you have, or if you want us to bring back table topics? We probably need to get a new set.
I think that's the thing. We've just been through so many of those questions.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Let's do it.
No, come on.
It's not going to make us buy a subscription, is it?
You've reached your limit of free articles.
Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, well. Well.
Let me see. Hold on. Current events this week. And current events quiz. Thanks, New York Times, for trying to make money.
Yeah, fuckers.
All right, let's go to USA Today. Watch this, they'll probably make me pay too. Sign up to play.
Oh, god damn it.
All right, nope. How about the Slate?
Slate. That's a pretty site, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Think you're smarter than a Slate homepage and social media editor? Find out with this week's news quiz.
Sure. Probably, yeah.
Get the Slate
Pretty
quiz
sure
in your
they're pretty
inbox.
biased.
Start the quiz. Okay. Who won his 8th straight Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating competition at Coney Island?
Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut. I always want to sing that little song that I learned. Okay. 62 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Something went down. He had to jump down and beat somebody's ass or something during the competition.
During the competition?
Go Joe!
Labor talks between which delivery company and its workers have not gone well, with the strike looming on the horizon?
I want to say Amazon. No? UPS?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I think it's UPS. Yep, it's UPS.
Oh. With the assist.
Yeah. The Israeli military conducted a 2-day raid of a refugee camp near which West Bank city, killing 12 Palestinians and an Israeli soldier?
Oh, you don't have to give me the choices. Okay.
Jenin, Tulkarm, Hebron, or Ramallah?
I think it's Ramallah.
Nope. Jenin.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Ramallah was the only one that I recognized. On Wednesday, Meta launched which long-awaited competitor to Twitter?
Oh, not quips. What are my choices?
Yarns, pearls, threads, pegs. Yeah. I will not be signing up for that.
Nah.
I'm on too much social media already. President Joe Biden, hosted the Prime Minister of which country at the White House in a show of support for that country's NATO bid?
Colombia?
Iceland, Luxembourg, Sweden, and Malta.
I'm sorry, read the choices again.
Iceland, Sweden, Luxembourg, Malta.
I think Sweden.
Yes.
Which is honestly kind of a crazy thing because Sweden's always been neutral.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought.
But I think
they sense a world war coming.
Yeah, and they want to pick the side with the biggest guns, and that's always going to be the U.S.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We're giving all those cluster bombs to.
How fucked up is that?
Now. That is such a bad idea. Why are we doing
that? Is, well, these things are horribly bad.
They're banned.
Yeah.
Why are we giving banned munitions to we are going to start World War III.
Here's a guy who wants to prevent you from owning particular weapons, but let's give these cluster bombs to fucking Ukraine, the people that were paying him a few years ago.
A small bag of white powdery substance found by the Secret Service in the White House on Sunday turned out to be which of these?
Cocaine.
Yes.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It hurt me.
I must have hit something.
Cocaine.
It's counting it wrong.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I mean, it says cocaine is right. My finger must have hit the wrong button.
Oh, son of a bitch. Well,
a federal judge blocked which state from enforcing part of a new elections law that bans non-citizens from handling or collecting voter registration forms? Arkansas, Florida, Colorado, or South Carolina?
South Carolina.
Nope, Florida.
Fuck.
Which governor used his veto pen to change 2024-25 to 24-25 in the state budget, ensuring that annual stream of funding for public education for the next 402 years?
What?
Which governor used his veto pen to change 2024-25 to 2,425 in the state budget, ensuring the annual stream of funding for public education for the next 402 years?
Oh my God.
Mike DeWine, Tony Evers, Roy Cooper, or Josh Shapiro? That was just a mistake of not putting a dash in there.
Oh my God. I have no idea. But let's go with
Roy Cooper.
Roy Cooper.
That was the one that jumped out to me, but it's wrong.
Who is it?
Tony Evers.
Hmm.
Ken Jennings tweeted he was running for Wisconsin governor just so I can strike out letters in our appropriations bill to make it a poop. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, fuck him.
The U.S. and the United Nations paused food aid in which African country after donated food was found for sale in the Tigray region in sacks branded with the U.S. flag? Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, or Nigeria?
Let's go with Somalia.
Wrong. Ethiopia. You should have gone
with your
gut on that.
My gut was Ethiopia, but now I thought, we are the world fixed Ethiopia.
I only got 45 seconds here. Which Ivy League school is under attack for its race-based affirmative action and treatment of children of alumni? Yes. Which USFL team defeated the Pittsburgh Maulers to win back-to-back championships?
Memphis. Nope.
Nope. Birmingham Stallions. Don't even know what sport that is.
XFL is football.
Ivan Dimitrov faces fines up to $16,000 and 5 years in jail for carving Ivan and Haley 23 into the side of which ancient landmark?
Stonehenge.
Coliseum.
Oh, the Coliseum? Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that.
All right, you got 7 really questions out of 12 correct.
Okay.
Wow, you
Well,
got
better
2 of
than
3 and the
average.
average score is 376.
But it would have been a little bit better had I...
It would have been a little better because I hit the wrong button. Sorry, lady.
So if you guys want us to do the New York Times and or the other one,
We have to pay for
we
the
have
New
to pay
York
for that.
Times.
So Cash App, K-Rose, VA. Help us out, folks. And
There's
with
Tilly.
that, and Tilly scratching the
Tilly,
shit out of
stop
our
it.
furniture. Tilly,
Tilly,
come on. Tilly.
Tilly, look over here. Hello. Oh,
Oh, she's down. Okay.
all right. So until
That's
next
it.
week.
Yep, and bye, everybody.
What was that?
I don't know.